Okay, what I'm going to mess with today is changing the angle of the shift lever. I have a problem in that with some pairs of shoes, it's really hard to shift. In fact, in these boots, I have to shift with the side of the boot, like that, because I can't get my leg, I don't know if you can see that angle, but there's no way my knee is going to be up there by the headlight and that this is going to work. So I got to get this shifter up a little higher so I can actually use it. So the first thing that has to come out is this little bolt right here, which I loosened already. And it would be awesome if you could actually get this off with just doing that, but you can't. This little rubber boot has to come off if we're going to take this arm off here and readjust the angle. So you got to just get that thing off, and it's stretchy, it's pretty soft, so it'll move. Now we're going to take this washer off, but to do that we got to take out this little cotter pin. Okay, so there you can see it. I'm going to use some little needle nose pliers to try to get that sucker off there. There's a few mods that involve fixing this piece so there's not so much play, but what I'm talking about doing, and that I haven't seen on the Grom, is actually changing the angle of the shifter so that you don't have to move your leg weird to shift, or use your toe or something like that. So there's that little cotter pin. Remember, most people suggest using a new cotter pin and not the old one. We're going to slip that off, and now we're going to bust around to the other side and see what that does, but that's going to allow this thing to pop right off. Okay, now you see this piece hanging down right here. This is the piece that controls the angle of the shifter, and I want mine up higher. So I'm going to twist it, I think, let's see, I want this up higher, so I need that thing back this way some more. Oops. So this thing comes off pretty easy, just gonna slide off, and then I'm gonna change the angle a little bit, see if I'm still able to get the bolt in there, because that could be a problem if I can't. Well, it looks like you can, it's just really tight. Cool. Now it looks like I've made it work for this, but I actually want to dip my foot a little bit, so I'm gonna go ahead and change it back a little bit more down, and I'm just gonna play around with getting that angle right so that the boot feels right when it's under there. Okay, I've determined the new angle that I want that at, and so now I'm just pushing back this rubber thing, grabbing the washer, and then I've got a new cotter pin, and I'm going to just plop that through there and make that work. I'll probably end up trimming that just a little bit so it doesn't stick out. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just curve it around there so it's not in the way. Get ripped, but I'm gonna make this rubber boot fit back over this thing here. That may be the hardest part of this fix. Pretty much just gonna have to stretch it back over that thing, and then you're done. That's it. Well, don't forget to tighten this little bolt in there. Be sure and torque it down with a wrench. And now what I've got is a shift lever that's not quite so dramatically pointing down. I can fit a big pair of boots under it or regular shoes. Join me next week when I put on my new Brock's exhaust and see how that does on this thing.